Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
According to the World Book, what's the main thing we get from Honduras?
You got it too.
According to the new book of knowledge, the most important use of leather is for what?
To hold animals together.
Nothing? Like, are you kidding? That is comedic gold.
How do you not
Paul
like that,
Lind.
Ryan? We grew up with this show.
Yeah. I didn't realize he left us at the age of 55.
Yeah.
Paul Lind. A Hollywood great on Hollywood Squares, and you know who would agree with me? Brought to you by the Bayside Oceanfront Resort on a Friday. Have we got him? Oh, he's ready. We got John Shannon? I know. Yeah, there he is. See the smile on his face?
There you go.
He remembers Paul Lind. How are you, John?
As soon as they said the word Honduras, I knew where he was going to go. That's the magic of Paul Lind.
Yeah.
And by the way, Donnie.
Yep.
I flipped over to the golf too.
There you go. See?
There you go.
I'm 2 for 2 with John today.
Because actually, I was having during that final round, I was having a great conversation via text with his agent, Chris Armstrong, about Nick doing it because he had been on our show the previous week. So it was kind of cool to and then watch it and him make the great putt, and then we flip back over to the football game.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. My son was the one criticizing me. He's more into golf over the past 12 months. So if this happens again, I don't think he's going to criticize me. So, hey, great sports weekend.
Let's remember the most famous Canadian golf victory nobody ever noticed, and that was Ian Leggett's tournament against the Salt Lake City gold medal game.
Yeah.
So Canadian won, right? And we won the gold medal for the first time in 50 years in hockey, and nobody knew that Ian Leggett, a good Canadian boy, won. I think it was Tucson. I want to say Tucson or Phoenix. Won that day, and nobody knew. We bug him all the time about it.
Well, you had to remind me of that, and I thank you for that. Hey, while we're on the subject of international hockey, John, I believe you tweeted something about this. Are you feeling a buzz when it comes to the Four Nations event? Some people aren't.
No, I'm getting a sense of skepticism. I'm getting a real sense of blasé about it. The best on best quote is a difficult one to do when the Russians and the Czechs aren't there. But at the same time, I think we have to. This is a year of growth, and this is kind of my point. What I was writing about was it's a placeholder for what we're going to see a year from now in Italy at the Olympics. It's a placeholder for a real World Cup that will occur in 2028 and hopefully every 4 years after that. So I think we just, and it's going to be better than any All-Star game we've seen in the last, 30 years. So I think we should just enjoy it for what it is, because I think the players will enjoy it, and I think the players will play hard. And the moment the players are invested in it, I think we'll all be invested in it.
But, John, I have to say to you, I think some teams are freaking out about injuries. And I think there's, right here in Vancouver, you got the franchise defenseman. Might not play.
Tough. So what? They voted to do this. The Vancouver Canucks voted in favor of this tournament. This is their brand going to the next level in a partnership with the players. This is not, Gary and Bill sitting in a corner office in New York saying we're going to defy all our teams. The teams are going to prosper with this tournament too. So this is the price of doing business. We're of a vintage, other than Ryan, we're of a vintage that international hockey occurred in September.
Yeah.
Well, nobody wanted it in September anymore. They wanted it smack in the middle of the season. So we got it smack in the middle of the season, as we do with the Olympics next year. And the teams bought into this. They could have voted no, but most of them voted yes. So I don't feel sorry for the teams at this point. And most importantly, Rick, the players want to play.
Yeah.
the players want to be there because they want to go to Italy next year. They want to be part of that. That's really what it's all about. And so I actually think as fans of the game, of people who love the game, I think we just sit back and enjoy it. And I think we're going to be, in the end, I think we're going to be treated some really good hockey.
John, what a week it was in Vancouver. JT Miller was traded a week ago today. We never got your thoughts. And then another big trade, Marcus Pettersson comes in, and all of a sudden the Canucks have a lot of new bodies. They're starting to win. They're 5-1-1 in their last 7. Talk about the week that has been for Vancouver.
Well, as you guys both know, I think I've been pretty consistent. I have been a Miller fan all along. I was a huge Miller fan to a point where I almost wondered if they should have traded Pettersson and not Miller. I don't know if Pettersson was ever really put on the market. I don't know if he was, what they would have gotten back. But what I would say is the Vancouver Canucks, and by the way, the Miller trade was one thing, but those two trades were so in sync with the fact of the first pick going back to Pittsburgh. I don't think one would have occurred without the other. Yeah. So it's really one giant trade that helped the Canucks get faster, and it helped the Canucks get deeper. And I think the hidden gem in all of this is going to be the defenseman Mancini, who I have friends in and around the Ranger organization just loved. And I think that when he's a regular this year, but certainly next year when he's a regular, people are going to say, wow, that trade was a lot better than we first imagined, and it's going to make the Vancouver Canucks a much deeper team.
Hey, John, I know you had Kevin Cheveldayoff on your show on 100% Hockey, your podcast. The Jets GM, since way back in 2011, look where they are now. What's allowed him to last so long?
Well, I think he's a pretty honest and pragmatic guy with ownership. When you are in the smallest market with one of the lowest revenue opportunities in the smallest building now in the National Hockey League, I think there are challenges, and I think that the loyalty that they have shown Kevin has gone the other way too. He's shown them a great deal of loyalty. Been able to build a pretty good team over a consistent period of time. He's drafted well, guys. Mm-hmm. When you look at the draft picks that are still in the organization, Patrick Laine is one of the flaws of that. But if you look again, when you look at trades, when you look at what he was able to get, Laine, he got Dubois for Laine and was able to turn Dubois and get 3 valuable members of their hockey club right now. Kevin Cheveldayoff's a pretty good hockey man, and I think that's one of the reasons why Mark Chipman and the people at Thompson have kept him around. One more, John. Don Cherry, he turned 91 on Wednesday. Is he getting into the Hockey Hall of Fame one day? I think it'll be difficult. I think I think that we're at a point where Don's reputation may hurt him. Do I believe that he's a builder of the game? Yeah, I do. I believe he's a builder of the game. Mm-hmm. But I would suggest that the politics of hockey, the politics of society in 2025 will get in his way. Yeah. Well, happy birthday, Don Cherry. I miss him on there. Huh? Yeah. 91. Looking good with the cake the other day. By the way, I got it. Rick, I know we got to go. No, it's okay. Rick had a faux pas of all faux pas, and nobody noticed.
What was that?
Well, when you said that Larry Hagman played on Bewitched.
Oh, I know I screwed up. Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, but it was I Dream of Jeannie, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you didn't correct me.
With Barbara Eden. The 2 guys that played Darren were Dick York and Dick Sargent. Yeah. Come on.
I Dream of Jeannie was so good, though. Why are you laughing, John? It was a great show.
Dallas was better when you're talking Larry Hagman shows.
Dallas, Friday nights, 10 p.m.
I love coming on with you guys because because we end up talking about stuff. We end up 80s. How about 60s?
Yeah, I know. Hey, you're off by a couple of decades.
My decade's the 80s. It's the best decade ever, John. Best.
You're the type of guy that would walk into a place, Just like Michael Keaton did in that movie Night Shift and Cernan say, Barney Rubble.
Yeah.
What an actor.
Yeah.
Flintstones, another great cartoon.
Designed after what show?
Honeymooners.
Right.
Yes.
There you go.
Flintstones was.
Yeah.
Wow.
You learn something every day.
Every day. Every day.
Yeah.
We should just do a
Ryan
segment.
learned,
Yeah.
by the way, Ryan learned nothing.
No.
Yeah.
But he
Ryan
doesn't
learned
want
nothing.
to. He doesn't want to.
Recency. Remember the phrase recency bias when
Yeah.
you look at Ryan. That's
Yeah.
all you do. Recency
He
bias.
thinks we're all old. He thinks we're all old.
Well, remember when television wasn't always in color either. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Next week, John, we'll talk about Gene Rayburn
Yeah.
and match game, okay?
Oh. There have to be some stories on the back lot about all those game shows.
Oh,
Chuck Woolery.
yeah. None of which we can tell.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Awesome.
Particularly about Paul Lind.
Yeah. Hey, John, we got to let you go. I got to get Ryan back. He's left. Okay.
left.
He's upset.
Too much 80s, 70s, 60s.
Oh,
Thanks,
have
my
a great weekend, boys.
Thanks, my friend. I appreciate it.